All right. But we have to do this exactly at 7 o'clock. One minute. Okay. Do the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call meeting to order and do a roll call, please.
Trustee McMahon?
Here.
Trustee Lacewell?
Here.
President Bank?
Here.
Trustee G?
Here.
Trustee Wolford?
Here.
Trustee Panal?
Here.
Tom Green?
Here. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make motion.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And I have a motion to approve the minutes. These are the minutes of the committee meeting from October 8th.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next, any public comments?
No.
Okay.
Bills. You gotta do the bills.
Moving down to the bills. Oh, I'm sorry, got bills, okay. We have sewer testing, 174, 146, water testing, 34, sewer testing, 146, water testing, 66. Sewer testing, 146, the testing contracts, 3058, 33, and 3958, 34. It should have been 3958, 33. Biscotti Computers, 126. Gale Romine Electrical Inspection, 620. Casey's, 9485. KPH Electric, 318678. Gina for zoning, 195. ComEd, 155268. Frontier, 35839. Frontier, 77175. Ace Hardware, $2. Ace Hardware, $15.99. Sickich, $16.93.50. Barrick Switzer, $192.50 and $21.52.50. Hawkins for Chemicals, $12.99.84. And operating supplies, $157 and $169.95. Total is $21,217.40, of which $79,2912 will come out of the general fund and $13,288.28 will come out of water and sewer. Are there any questions? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Oh, sorry, roll call.
Trustee McMahon?
Aye.
Trustee Lacewell?
Aye.
President Bank?
Aye.
Trustee G?
Aye.
Trustee Wolford?
Aye.
Trustee Panal?
Aye. Okay, all in favor? So those good. Okay, before we get into this, I want to remind everybody, if you're running for office, this is the week you got to get your paperwork into Crystal. The window is November 12th through November 18th, which is next Monday, and there are no excuses. She can't do it after the fact, so If you've got paperwork ready, we need to get it in here, and that goes for anybody that's out there that's running for office too, okay? We had a water main break over the weekend on Wooster, and it was pretty nasty. I ended up having to cut a section of pipe out and replace it. And, you know, I noticed while we're over there working on it, every time a semi goes by, it does this, okay? And that area is full of rocks and boulders. And although it is made out of ductile iron, as time goes on, it's less ductile than it used to be when it was new, and that's pushing 100 years old. So when it goes up against a rock or a boulder, it's not a pretty sight. So that's what happens. So hopefully when IDOT gets out here and starts working on that road and raising up the intersections, et cetera, like they said they're gonna do, that'll help out a lot. But that's basically what went on with that. I think that's all I got as far as just information. Next, we have a resident who asked for leniency on the water bill, and that is Mr. and Mrs. McFadden.
Right.
So my understanding is you had a pipe break in your
Yes.
basement?
It's my mother, and she's on a very small income, fixed income, and it's, she did not know all the time. If we would have known about it, we would have, the second we found out that she said there's a problem, he immediately went over there, shut off the water, took the piece off, went straight to Ace Hardware, he got it fixed immediately. But she's so crippled up and mangled, she's got severe crippling RA, that she didn't open the basement door to look and see, and she's hard of hearing, and the pump was running constantly, because where it was, there's a, you explain
Okay,
it.
so where the pipes come in from our house, when the house was made, they drilled a hole through the concrete wall to put another section of piping over there to help put the water on that side of the apartment there. Well, on the bottom, the whole shaft and the cap rotted out.
Wow.
So it was just shooting water and they had no idea.
So it went into the sump, it was constantly going into the sump pump.
Sure.
See, so it wasn't until there was water at the basement stairs, and we got a phone call, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, we're going to bed, there's a problem, so all he could do was shut the water off.
Okay.
Run over there, shut the water off, and then it was in the morning that
I
we
go
got
there
it
and
fixed
see what the
immediately.
damages were.
This is devastating
I had to
because,
go buy a big old shop vac and everything to get it all cleaned up and I'll get that taken
Well,
care
that
of.
makes more sense, okay?
I mean, and they're very, my parents are very dependent, very, very dependent on us to help them do things. They're at that age where it's a sticky icky because they're trying to help, like, not being able to do a lot to help themselves. I do a lot to take care of them on a daily basis. This is just a financial hit that we don't know what to do because this has never happened before.
Wasn't prepared. or
You know, we're not
thought.
irresponsible that way, like when it comes to stuff like that, we take care of it immediately, and we didn't know.
Okay.
That's the big thing, we just didn't know.
Okay.
So anything, I mean,
Okay, as you all see, this is a pretty large bill. It's over $2,500, but it's 162,000 gallons, so this was going on for quite
it
a
had
few
to have been
days.
because it was, this bill, that's never happened. If you look at all the bills before and now, it's just been that one, it had to have been the whole month.
Okay.
It was like that, and we just didn't know.
Okay, so I just want to let you know how this is going to work. First of all, tonight is a committee meeting, so
Okay.
there are going to be no decisions made tonight.
Okay,
The decision will be made by the board in 2 weeks.
Okay.
My recommendation, at least to the board, would be to resolve you of the sewer portion of the bill, because it's all clean water. But as far as the rest of the bill goes, I want to leave it up to the board. Glenn, you got anything?
Which portion is the sewer?
The top
The
portion.
top portion is where it says S resident, that's the sewer bill.
Okay.
Okay, then underneath that is the bond payment for the improvements we did on the water side. And then underneath that is the actual water bill, which is $989.90. So it would reduce the bill to
10/19/58 instead of 25/65. Okay? But I'd like to have the board have some discussion on this to, decide what it is they want to do, and then have 2 weeks to think about it so that we can make a final decision. So, does anybody have any thought process?
Well, I would agree with you that since it is clean water that's being run through the sewer system, it's really not that much of a burden on the village to process that. So removing that
Like he's
makes
into
sense
clean
to
water
me.
there, but
Okay.
if we
Anybody else?
that in
I do know
half,
that her
and just
family
left them with
are
that
older and do have
because
handicap
of
problems.
her
Very,
condition
very, like, when I'm
and
saying
the
Okay.
dependency,
poor, I mean.
I know.
we can do
I
this
get
one
it.
time.
Okay, I get it.
What do you
Rachel?
think?
I agree with Glenn about the sewer portion of it.
Melissa?
I think we can probably do that.
Melissa?
We were just saying, we agree with the 15, yes. Being that the condition of the resident, what if we took the 989 and we split the difference with them? And they would only pay $494.50.
Okay. Pam? Kim, I'm sorry.
I kind of agree. I mean,
This hasn't happened before, this is a one-time thing, like she
Right.
said, it popped up,
All right, let's,
and
we did just have another resident request, 2 months ago?
yeah.
So, I
yeah.
mean,
That was a little bit of a different
that
situation.
was a different situation, yes. This was a,
'Cause they are
Private
handicapped.
resident.
And I know the house, it's a couple down from mine.
Yeah.
yes.
Let me ask you another
Right.
question. Would it be possible to take a look at the average monthly
Right.
usage over
It's
the
five
last
thou-
3
it's
months?
5,000
absolutely.
gallons.
It's
5,000
5,000?
gallons. Roughly, it varies, but for looking at this year, it's pulled about 4,000 to 5,000 gallons
So
each month. So
dividing up
it's
that
huge.
number in half would be fair.
Okay, so we have two scenarios on the
Yeah.
board. One is for this, just to relieve the sewer part,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is to relieve the sewer part and split the cost of the water. So, I'll give you guys like 2 weeks to decide that, and we'll come back on
Yeah.
the 26th, and we'll vote on one or the other, okay?
Okay,
All right,
I appreciate
Greatly
that.
appreciate it.
okay.
I appreciate it, everybody.
All right, cool. That's kind of the way I wanted to set these meetings up, is so that we have a discussion about these things, and then we got 2 weeks to mull it over, and then we can come back and make an intelligent decision.
Sure.
Yes?
Not to be sound heartless, but from now on, would it depend on how, like, the type of situation a person's in? for
I would
decide-
I would say that in each case, it would be the type of situation a person is in.
We've always,
okay?
I thought,
Okay.
been-
I don't think this is like
Based on that.
this isn't gonna become a standard thing, okay?
The previous case was a tenant and landlord issue. It was not a busted.
wasn't
We
there
did-
wasn't there another one though?
Yeah.
Besides that,
Right.
And the landlord
Recently-
didn't even show up.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking everyone
No.
should be treated fairly.
It was a
and-
different
uh,
scenario.
no, I thought there was another one besides
Each
that. though.
one,
There was
each
one before
individual
that,
case
too.
like
That-
this would
that's
be
what- that's what I'm
treated as
thinking
an
of.
individual case.
Not
Okay?
Rick's, the one before
Yeah.
Rick.
I think that's the fair way to
And I
do
think we
things,
did too.
okay?
I do too.
So
Did you guys-
case in point is it's a case-by-case
Case, right.
For
scenario.
this elderly and
Yes.
handicapped lady who was not aware that the
Yes.
situation was occurring to be held responsible for something.
And she just didn't look at it and say,
Thank
"Ah, hell
you.
with it, I'm not gonna worry."
I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying, if someone
That
else
was
was
a big
in that
thing.
situation and they were able-bodied,
Well, then they
Well,
should
then we
know
would take
that's
that, then we
happened.
would have to take that into
consideration
consideration.
when
Okay.
they would come before us, depending on what the circumstances were.
Well, if it happened at your house, I would suspect that you would go to the basement and see what's going on.
well, if I notice it, yes.
Sure.
Well,
But I'd
again,
only ask for the sewer, since that seems to be what everyone
right,
is usually doing.
but like I said, each one of these cases is individual and needs to stand on its own merit, okay? And the board hopefully will act accordingly when it comes time to do that.
All right.
So that's what we'll do in 2 weeks,
All right.
okay? All right, moving on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, I have on here, meet the new Capron Rescue Squad, but they're not gonna be here till the next meeting, so we're gonna table that, okay? Next on here is the levy ordinance, tax levy for fiscal year 2026. And the only thing I did on this is I raised the liability insurance from 23,000 to 26,000 because that's what it cost us, okay? All the rest of the levies I kept exactly the same. Until I see an issue with our general fund, which is where all this goes, okay? And every time we get a report on our general fund, we have more money in it than we did the month before. And until that changes, I don't see any reason to raise everybody's taxes. So the only thing that has increased over the years is the liability insurance for the village. And so we're gonna raise it $3,000. That's about $8 or $7 a house per year. So I don't think it will be much of a burden on everybody, but you know, the facts be as they may, everything's going up in price, and this is just one of those things. So we're holding the line on everything else again, just that, okay? All right. Next is this quote for valves. These are butterfly valves that supply air to the SBR, and they are on the PLCs that run the sewer system. They're automatic. And they're worn out, and they don't shut off anymore, and they add air to the system when it isn't supposed to. So the system isn't working as efficiently as it's supposed to. So that's what this quote is. It's under $10,000. You can quote me if I'm wrong, Tom, but we don't really have to get 3 bids on this, do we? Okay. So these are the people that we usually work with. So the total on this is going to be $4,029. And that's for everything that needs to be done on it, okay? And that'll be done in 2 weeks. Next, I had a preliminary meeting with Strand Engineering about our smoke test and the inspection of our manholes, okay? The smoke test actually came out pretty well. There's a couple of spots in the system where it shows that the sewer lines have sagged, which means they're gonna clog up, and they do. We've got one right across the street here, and we have to have Collins come out on a regular basis and jet it out so that it works properly. And then they found 2 sump pumps that are connected to the sewer system, which is basically an illegal connection. They should be pumping that water outside instead of into the sewer system. But way back when they put this system in, I guess people did that, and nobody did anything about it. On the other side, the manhole inspection yielded the fact that we have 23 manholes that need to be repaired and or replaced. The reason we did these tests is because every time we get a heavy rain, the influx of stormwater into the sewer system causes our bumps to run at full speed, and it washes out the entire system, and it reduces the life of our equipment because of that load. We'll do 1 million gallons in a day, and we have heavy rain, we'll do 1 million gallons overnight, and it's just not good and healthy. And we needed to find out where this water was coming from. So we have 2 types of manholes in town. One of them is made out of brick, and one of them is made out of concrete. Just depends on the time they were installed, okay? And believe it or not, I think there's more problems on this subdivision side than there are on this side of town. So when they told me that, I kind of almost fell out of my chair because I was waiting for the bill to come. And actually, I was pleasantly surprised. They said the total for those manholes is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $115,000. And I want to remind you all that we don't have that sewer bond anymore, which is $250. So we can use that money in the next budget for the next fiscal year to take care of those. We also have to replace 60 manhole covers. But those are only $500 a piece, so that's $30,000. So that's a total of $145, and then there'll be some engineering costs involved. So the whole thing should cost us a little less than $200,000 so we can get that done and get the sewer system back under control the way it needs to be, okay? When I get the actual report, then I'll give it to Glenn, and he can do a thing on it and report to the committee exactly what it is we need to do and everything, okay? Next thing on the agenda is the old gas station. As a village, we're required to supply everybody who's on the system water, okay? And he requested that the water be turned on, and we went over there, and I guess there's 2 buffalo boxes, and one of them's right up against the building, and they turned both of them on, and they got a little trickle of water, and that was the end of it. A couple of years ago, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, the previous owner removed all the underground storage tanks. So we have no idea what they did to that system, okay, if anything. So we don't know what's wrong with it. It could be clogged up. Maybe the buffalo boxes don't work. Maybe they kinked the line. I have no idea what the situation is. And I was talking to Tom about it because we do have a responsibility, but I don't want to send the village on a wild goose chase to find out what's wrong, especially if it's not our fault. So you told me.
Well, our responsibility is to provide water to the property line, basically.
Right.
And then if you want to, if you build a house and you want to extend the water to your home, you have to hire a plumber, and they extend the line to your house, and then
Right.
you have the water. In this situation, and if there's a leak, or the pipe breaks on the property owner's side, that's the property owner's responsibility to get a plumber and get it
Right.
fixed. So we know those water lines are hot, I shouldn't say hot, what do you call it? They're you know.
They're running.
They're under power because
Yeah.
they're providing water to various properties around it. I don't believe that it would be our responsibility to rush in and start digging holes to try and figure it out. I think the first step is for the property owner to hire a professional to either bore the line to see if they can figure out, maybe it got crimped when they pulled the tanks out, maybe something happened when they were excavating on their property. And if the problem with the line is on their property, it's their responsibility. They should at least make a run at it, you know what I mean? Try and get a professional, a plumber out there to figure out where is the problem. And I think they can
Yes.
go from the inside back down the line to try and figure out where the blockage is.
So I just wanted you all to know what was going on with this, all right? So we're gonna contact the property owner and tell them,
Right.
you're gonna have to do the due diligence and take a look at it before we do exploratory surgery on this thing. And if it turns out that it's our problem, then we'll take care of it. And if it turns out that it's his problem, then he's gonna have to take care of it, okay? I just wanted everybody to know what we were doing with that. Intergovernmental Christmas party is set for December 20th, okay? Again, we're gonna split the food costs and stuff with the fire department, and we're gonna have it at the Lions Club. And I heard through the grapevine that somebody was gonna donate money for the
The
alcohol.
attorney will do what it has done in the last several years, and
Okay.
happy to do it.
All right, so, just so everybody knows, the village is not spending any money on alcohol, okay? Strictly food, okay? And that's it. There's going to be, for those of us that are there, an ugly sweater contest, I guess, right? Okay, and some other things, so this is, we started this a few years ago. The relationships between the various agencies that support this town were, to say the least, strained, and I felt it was a good team-building thing to have everybody come together at Christmas and share a little, and get to know each other, et cetera. So that's what we do. The tree lighting ceremony for the public is another thing, and I want to get to that. Currently, there's a resolution that sets the date for our tree lighting ceremony. And I was talking to Barb Sager at the Lions Club, and they have, every year, they have a model train show, and they would like to turn it into a weekend, a Christmas weekend or a Christmas in Capron event. And they would like us to have our tree lighting ceremony in conjunction with their train show every year. So, you know, that's gonna move around a little bit, so I would like to do away with this resolution and allow us to have our tree lighting ceremony when it best fits what we try to do, okay? Instead of having it always on the same Sunday of the month.
Well, like this year, their train show is on the 14th from 10 to 4.
Yeah.
We usually do the tree lighting at 5:30. Basically, people could go home, spend an hour and a half at home and then,
Right. But if they have it like on the 20th or something, and we can't do it because of this
Right.
resolution. So what I would like to do is rescind this resolution, and how do you do that?
Well, I'm not even sure we have to rescind the resolution, it's from 2015. I guess we should probably do a resolution freeing the village board to pick a convenient date as opposed to
Okay.
being locked into a specific
Okay.
date. So we could put a resolution together for the.
All right, let's
for the
do
next-
that, okay. And I think that'll work out well. They also asked me, I was gonna mention this too, they want to do a chili cook-off, and they want the village to participate. So, we can either do it together, or we can have individuals from the village compete in it and stuff, okay? They haven't really set a date for it yet, it's in the beginning stages.
They already have a date set.
Well, Barb told me they don't have anything concrete yet, so. this-
February 2025. on
She
the
said
7th,
it's,
which
she
is a
told me
Friday.
it's still in the planning stage, so I wouldn't take that as
Okay.
gospel, okay? All right, but yeah, I just want to let everybody know they want to do that. All right, I'm going to turn the next thing over to Rachel. This is the Girl Scouts.
so last year we received a letter from the Girl Scouts asking for them to come and take orders, go door to door, and that was it. We said no last year to them going door to door because we didn't believe that a lot of the residents would like solicitors on their door. This year they've done that, but they also have something in here about holding cookie booth sales at local businesses with the business's permission. I think that we could go ahead and say no to the door-to-door sales, but then leave it up to the businesses as whether or not they would like to put out a booth.
And they want a response by December 12th, so if we make it at the next meeting, that'll give them plenty of time, okay? So another thing to think about over the next couple of weeks. That's all I got.
Steve, turkey costume.
Oh, we're not gonna do a turkey costume. The reason we're not doing a turkey costume is the food pantry bought a turkey costume, and one of their people is going to wear it. You're not gonna catch me in a turkey costume.
That's good, because I was going to donate the money for it tonight.
Okay. Trustee McMahon, you have anything?
Not now, nope.
Okay, trustee Lacewell?
Nope.
All right. Oh, one other thing I want to tell you is, at our next business meeting, we're switching responsibilities. Kim is taking over the financial report, and Melissa's going to take over the sign and the flags, okay? Just-
Thank you. I ain't got time for that.
Okay. Trustee AG, you got anything?
No,
It's all
All right.
yours.
Trustee Walfart?
nothing at this time.
Trustee Penal?
She's too
Okay.
busy
Well, I
already.
wanted to tell the guys, thank you for doing Show Street with the ditch.
Oh,
They
okay.
took all the trees down and it
Okay.
cleaned it up really
Yeah,
good.
that was Mike.
Yes,
Okay,
he did a
okay.
great job.
Okay, I had before we close, I got one more thing I want to go over. This is the last winter that we're under contract with the township to do our roads for snow removal. So we had a little preliminary meeting, okay? And I didn't commit to anything because Mike was on vacation and I'm not going to commit him to something that he doesn't know about. But they're a little bit shorthanded now, and they said, you know, if they get the township done first, then people in town are not happy. If they get the people in town done first, the people in the country are not happy. So what they propose is that we take over the snow plowing until they get done with all the township roads, and then they will come back in here and help finish the job. And they're gonna charge an hourly rate for that instead of what we did before. If you don't remember, what we did is we traded them a pickup truck for 4 years of snow removal service, okay? So I'll keep you posted with that, okay? And we had another situation where the gentleman that owns the vacant lot down on 4th and Main Street was gonna let us dump snow there in the wintertime, provided we shovel off the sidewalks. But Mike doesn't think that that's gonna be a good idea, because when you plow snow and go dump it on a vacant lot, you're dumping a lot of garbage on it, a lot of gravel, a lot of everything else, and then you've gotta go back and clean it all up. And that's really difficult proposition. So we have better places to put it than that, so we'll take care of that, okay? He also told me that the little truck that we bought a few years back is not doing so well. So I told him to go and look for and find me 3 different trucks with 3 different prices. And the same thing with the skid loader. The Kubota, it's okay, but it's getting old, and it can't do as many things as a skid loader can do. So again, I told him to go get me 3 prices for that, and when I get all that information, I'll bring it to you guys, and we can have a discussion on it, okay? All right, other than that, can I have a motion to adjourn? Yeah?
With the plow truck, if we're gonna use it ourselves, would we have, if anything happened to it, would we have to pay for the, repairs for it?
On what truck? We have our
Plow
truck.
that we would have to.
It's our truck.
I thought it was the, township's
No,
truck.
we use our dump truck, put a plow on it. We have a plow for it.
Okay.
That's what they did before.
And why are they charging?
Because we only have 1 employee. Before, we had 2 people plowing snow in town. We don't have that anymore. We have 1 person in town.
Okay, I think Matt's confused
Okay.
as why they would be charging us an hourly rate. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go and do township roads first.
Okay.
And then Mike's gonna do our roads here.
Okay.
And if he's not finished, when they're done with township, they're gonna come and help him.
Instead of paying
And
them,
that's when they're gonna do the
Oh,
hourly
okay.
rate.
yeah, instead of paying them X amount of dollars a year for the whole year,
All right.
they want to do it by the hour. So 2 inches of snow is going to cost less than 6 inches of snow, is what it basically comes down to, okay? We basically were paying them about $8,500 for the season to plow our snow, so we'll see how this goes, okay? The reason I did it this way is because I didn't want to get caught with an outside contractor, and then you get put on a list and you have no idea when they're gonna get here to do our snow, especially if they're coming from Rockford or Machesney Park or whatever. The township's right here, they're local. I mean, it's almost like a captive audience, but because they're shorthanded, they can't do what they've been doing, so we have them under contract for 1 more year, they have to honor that. And after that, we're going forward, we're just gonna have to do some negotiation with them, okay? I just wanna let everybody know that's coming up, but we got all year to do that, because this year's covered, so we're okay, okay?
Yep.
All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to
Can
adjourn.
I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.